So periodically we have to go through what I call a third-party food safety audit. Larger corporations like Walmart and large grocery chains usually require this from food suppliers. Some large companies actually have dedicated employees for handling this part of their business. Here it's just me trying to figure it out. Some people go to school for this stuff, and I just had to fumble through it the best I can because I can't really afford a dedicated employee for something like that. I've done okay over the years. I've kind of had some false starts and learned some lessons. We always pass this inspection. Usually we have a pretty high grade. Last time we did it, we had a 96. Haven't had anything below a 90 in a really long time. But there's something brand new to it, and that's called food defense. It's brand new for us, our intermediate level of inspection. We never used to have it, but we do now. The books for this inspection, all the logs and everything would probably pile this high on this desk, maybe higher if they're all stacked on top of each other. These books are just a table of contents and the outline of the whole thing. And we had to add to our contents something called food defense, brand new for us. So here's the table of contents in one of our books. We have two books that are outlining our inspection situation. This is number 2. Food defense shows up in this book right here. Of course, you can see all this other stuff. All of these procedures and policies have to be documented, signed by employees, signed by me, of course. Food defense is brand new for us. I've never done that before. And when I heard about that, I was a little nervous, but went online, looked at some class entries and things like that, and kind of figured out a basic outline. Was worried that whether we'd pass it or not, and the inspector actually was happy with what we did. I've created this review log so we can see we look at shortcomings, list them, address them, and have a log showing how we fix things. These are things I found when I started looking at this closely. We had poor lighting in the rear and the north end of the building. There's an electrician engaged, lights are ordered. Of course, I have another log showing that those things have been accomplished. All producers were mailed a notification letter about tamper-proof seals. Seals were mailed to 3 of our producers that we hadn't purchased from yet this year. We had to finish attaching seals to bulk containers, training, procedures, signed and reviewed. All this book is just full of signatures where employees had to sign off, read and sign off that they understood different procedures. And of course, not all employees coincide with all procedures. Some people have to be aware of some things, others have to be aware of others. Food defense procedures. I know I haven't done this as well as I can, but we did pass. Next year I'll probably refine it a little better. I'm still seeing things that we're coming up short on. Luckily the inspector was cool. He passed us on this. Letter I sent to all producers notifying them that they would have to ship containers with a tamper-proof seal on it. And I get this. If a truck sits in a truck stop parking lot overnight and it's full of barrels and totes, somebody theoretically could mess with it. And these seals show us whether somebody's gotten into any of those containers. These were the producers we purchased from last year. Everything has to be documented. It's a little crazy at times, but it's what it takes to do what we're doing. Goods released to customer, a lot of stuff, but we're dealing with food defense today. It's also necessary to have good lighting over all potential break-in points in the building. All doors, windows must be very secure and well lit. Got my son Daniel, who's an electrician, putting up lights all around this building. We've always had these really secure lots, heavy industrial. Well, it's a rainy old day in Lakemont today. Glad to see it actually. Okay, we have a little task going on here today. Actually, it's not a real little task. There's over 2,000 drums of honey in the warehouse, and Selena and Louie are putting tamper-proof safety seals on every drum. And let's see what that looks like. Every drum, every tote is getting one of those. They've got a number on them, and every number is being cataloged with the drum number. All of these drums have a sticker on them, and I'm going to ask Louie to show me what that looks like on his phone. Louie creates these labels for each drum. It has a code on it that he can read with his phone. Not only are we putting safety seals on the drums, but from this point forward, any producer that sells honey to us will have to put the safety seal on before it leaves their facility. And that way we will know if a drum has been messed with in transportation to our place. Most barrel bands and tote caps, tote lids, have a mechanism for putting on a seal. It's real simple. You can't take those apart without breaking them. It's as simple as that. Louie's the one that uses all of these barrels for blending. We blend 32 drums at a time, and when he loads them into the room, he is required to make sure that that safety seal is intact, tamper-proof seal is intact. If it is not, he's required to notify me immediately, so between the two of us, we can figure out if that was accidentally broken or if somebody else has been in that drum. So this is a new era for us. We're not really big packers, but we have to start acting like we are. The FDA inspectors, the state inspectors, the third-party food safety audit inspectors are wanting to see this. They're going to want to see this paperwork too. So when a load comes to us from a producer, Louie is going to have to check and make sure all the seals are there. And not only that, we're the ones that are sending the seals to the producer, and Louie will catalog the numbers that were sent to them, and it has to be our number on that drum. If it's not, it will be rejected. We're also starting to be much more careful who can come in our building. Visitors are not allowed to walk into our building without being accompanied by an employee. Truck drivers that deliver, everybody. Nobody can just walk in here anymore. It's a requirement. And they're almost done. They've been through almost all of these drums. They don't have many left. Might be done by the end of today. It's been a big job, but I'm thinking it's something that's necessary. Everybody that enters our facility has to sign in. There's a sign-in sheet right there. So we're just trying to be a little more careful. At first, when I was told about these new regulations and rules, I was kind of like, oh, hell, here's another thing we got to do. But the more I thought about it, the more it makes sense. The world's changing, and we got to act accordingly. You guys are doing a good job. It's actually good to see all these drums. There was a couple of drums there from last year that we somehow overlooked, and we're bringing them to the forefront so they can get used right away. Louie blends 32 drums at a time, once or twice a week, so it's no problem mixing things like that in with the batch. We have to be extra careful with allergens. Nothing can enter our processing rooms that isn't honey or water. We're being very careful on all fronts, and it's a rainy day today, so it's a perfect time for doing this kind of work. We're also doing a deep clean on the building. Every square inch of this place is getting touched. We do that periodically because it just, after a dusty summer, it's amazing how many cobwebs. And, if you give this place the white glove treatment, sometimes you see dust you didn't expect to see. Even the ceiling has been hit with a duster. John has been over there vacuuming. He's been vacuuming and cleaning for days. Every crack, every little corner, everything. I like doing that periodically to make sure the place is super clean. He heard his name, so he's wondering what we're talking about. So what we're doing here today is we are cleaning this place from head to toe. The ceilings, the floors, all the cracks and crevices in all rooms, even in the warehouse. We've hit the ceilings for cobwebs and stuff. Nathan is washing down the cooler coils that we use periodically. We're in our comb room right now where we bring in the crop for drying and warming before extracting. And occasionally we have to use those cooler coils to bring temperature down for one reason or another. So every square inch, and we're glad to have Seth here helping us do it. Yeah. John has been tasked with cleaning this entire building. He and Joe and Nathan are cleaning every crack, everything.
Oh man.
John, he had the job of cleaning the ceiling. That was fun.
Yeah, I was up on top of the
Yeah, we got every cobweb, everything, all the dust on top of the light fixtures. Fixtures have been washed. So
It is wild, like everything has been.
yeah, it's
well,
amazing how much dirt comes in here.
Yep, and you don't realize it till you start cleaning.
Yeah, so Joe's been cleaning under the benches. We remove everything, clean, and then put it back. We've been doing that throughout the entire building. All pallets of jars, containers, beekeeping stuff, it's all pulled out. The area's cleaned, and then it's put back. It's actually a healthy thing to do once in a while. Kind of gives you a little bit better idea of what you got. So it's amazing all the things we said, oh, I forgot we had that.
Right, oh yeah, no, for sure.
So, yeah.
It feels good.
Feels good, yeah.